Han-koo has said a framework trade deal with the United States could be reached before the August 1st deadline, according to local media reports. EO told reporters that Seoul may be prepared to offer greater access to its agriculture markets as part of the broader trade talks, adding that a strategic choice may be needed for sensitive farm and livestock sectors. He said it may be necessary to accept some American demands that could lead to domestic regulatory changes, but noted that a complete treaty in just 20 days would be unrealistic. Instead, an agreement in principle could be reached by the deadline, with details to be negotiated later. EO also expressed concerns to US officials about industry-specific tariffs, including those on semiconductors, autos and steel. He noted that considerable progress has been made on industrial cooperation, including in strategic sectors such as artificial intelligence. Trump had yesterday said that South Korea wanted to make a deal right away, but it did not provide any further details. South Korea is seeking to avoid a 25% tariff set to take effect on August the 1st. We're once again joined by Dr. Sanjay Kumar, who joins us from the South Korean capital to discuss this in further detail. Dr. Kumar, what are the hopes for South Korea what is the hopes for South Korea to get out of this trade deal? What is the feeling around Donald Trump's possible upcoming 25% tariff that could be imposed on August the 1st?
There is a panic among the Korean people and businesses here because, you know, being a trading and export-oriented nation, people here have not very good sentiments about this tariff thing because, you know, what Trump sees and what Korean people see is very, very different. According to Trump, he thinks that this trade deficit, which has been a huge bone of contention while dealing with Korea and Japan, although other countries also have trade deficit, but he had been continuously highlighting Japan and Korea because Japan has like almost $69 billion trade deficit, and Korea also is not far, it's just very close at $66 billion. So from US perspective, in their economic interest and national interest, this trade deficit somehow has to be minimized, and Trump has to be accountable to his voters and his supporters because his narrative in the elections was that. But from South Korean perspective, if we see, you know, agricultural products are already facing a lot of problems. Here the farmers had been making lots of hue and cry when last time, few years ago, when US beef exports came into picture of this US Korea under this US Korea FTA. So the situation is somewhat similar to that times, and in any case, farmers here and the politicians here do not want to offend the Korean farmers and the Korean people as well. If you see the sectors like semiconductor, automobiles and all, Korea is very much dependent on US because huge exports go there. And in long run, because Korea exports to China also, some of the semiconductors aspect, it is, you know, from both the sides, it is going to affect Korea in like both ways. So now Korean government is trying its best to somehow come up with some strategy and try to diversify some of the issues which is going to be in the negotiation. For example, like US-Korea manufacturing partnership, Renaissance partnership, they want to bring such kind of elements into this trade deal so that from one side they can pay some tariffs, but on the other side they can get some benefits through manufacturing and shipbuilding industries and get more new businesses. This is South Korean perspective. Otherwise, you know, like it will be only only give initiative, like no take initiative. So give and take initiative has to be achieved. This is how South Korea is seeing. If you bring Japan, although it's although Japan has also been talking since a couple of years, their prime minister also went there to have such negotiations. They have invested as well. But apart from all that, nothing concrete has been achieved. But South Korea wants to achieve something concrete and in at an early time. Like speed also matters here, because if Japan concludes it first, then also it would send a very not positive but not very negative signal, kind of setback kind of signal to Korean politicians. And here the opposition can also voice anger against this, that look, Japan has concluded this, but we are still doing, and it would be under pressure like situation. So, you know, things are not going in a very easy direction right now, but South Korean Trade Ministry and the entire government is really set to negotiate, and they are making lots of strategies, and they are trying to activate various communication channels with the Trump administration.
Yes, Dr. Kumar, we now move over to another Indo-Pacific tariff development where Thailand